Boko dear.
Microphone say Srewenya.
As you saying?
Food na hiano.
Srewenya. Nti ya tin kwamu dear.
Ya wade.
Amen.
Nti ya azipi de nima. Nyamena adom. Yansa beka.
Amen. The Venerable Central Regional Minister. Kwame Duncan. Our positivity. Our positivity. Apome.
Mogo. Sense na warai.
Oh.
Sense na wara sefe sense na. Sense na wa sefa kwame sefa sense na. Sense na wara. Amanya som Petrim papa. Petrim papa. Amani sika som Petrim papa. Petrim papa. Monsieur Petrim papa. Petrim papa. Apo musam Petrim papa. Petrim papa. Ewudi sam Petrim papa. Petrim papa. Atoyan cham Petrim papa. Petrim papa. Mpo lovey. Sentena
Wala.
Abesa kwami sentena wala. Sentena ni Kokrokoo senteno. Sentena wala. Happy 50th birthday.
Thank you.
A very beautiful end of the first half.
Thank you.
And Kwame,
you
have paid your dues.
To God be the glory.
Amen. Na 50 years ago we mi awake. Echimpon the manoya kasa.
Amen.
We think of
Mitidasi.
Yes.
Mitidasi. Our positivity.
Ghana's morning voice. Sentena walo sentena walo.
Medasi.
That's right.
Medasi. Now, one walk of primaries. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Vote buying, another appreciation of delegates. 40 incumbents MPs lose their seats. NDC says obscene violence and unprecedented monetary inducements. And also the outcome of the primaries is indicative of MPP's defeat in 2020. Come now, primary Saba.
Yo, Chairman Jana, na pe Minchi okra.
Mejo do na medasi na nyom no so. Odem.
Minchi so go gra na minchi wetin fun pem. Kan fin man to mofo. Na Adam mother boy, first boy. And then wait 20 years.
Hey.
Yeah, I took Kwame Duncan.
Very good.
COVID in Zama University when I will book you.
Oh, yeah.
No, easy. No, we found that Branson will be well for this account.
Messy.
And my could be sister paying Gladys Abando. So is it now we're done the 24th June as a special. My count so 9, is it? It is best people who are born in.
Yeah, man.
And she at least have a best child. Kwame Nachi, you read Nama.
Yeah.
Mother upon Casido, yeah. MP primaries and matters arising.
True that.
Ma Mumbo Party na Bado. Na kaya anxiety kakari pay. Usande Kwame aya wonhihye na won wonder. Na I feel mara putupuru mara ye ba twetwa mo a ye hu be mofi wa ba sensen ye kom na nhihye nyina adwuwa gu fom nti party mba no why anxious, why apprehensive.
No.
Na nyina we radin sem. Yehwe mo si onye abafa. Demo mbere fufuri a wa ba yehu bi de ihe a yeta this time dey bia pemfo a water ase no wose se bi poem was early 1920s more bi kakra poem ho mutum ho, and we are told that Ghana we lost as many
1915 to 1919
okay. Nti bia ye wo bi ma water ase dem a okrobi bi ma water dem na amampanyin so or there onu no kita oman na hen odi si enimu na odo hwe mo si odi nze maboti na wa ba makwen ma ato onu ejuma we dede kwame echinje biare yi ho na mo ma side o in there de dodo a wo bo mampanyin na ba do amanyina what reference to omanpain mo bi oba pre do oba ye omanpain na jama se otan kwame so kasa ihu de nothing but envy, jealousness, and sometimes sheer provocation. No you hu de omanpain na obi a wa ya omanpain da na ehwe nhihye omanpain da botwe I say a National House of Chiefs or by a particular decision on here who are what to say from home. Every stage in painful our from home be not or your decision be on to me here without them. Now be a why your man paying that. Come either yet a man to know wash him, Cassadana Mazabans. Why your man paying that? Cobra Bonfe. There. His statement is that it is trite knowledge that lining up members of the Council of State and chiefs to come and sing your praises will not make the virus go away. Lining up. Amazing. A former head of state. You see, what you coming? Anamu man paying two or the margin one. Nanka so baby or there ahemfo. They should be part of this matter. A Okrampo assemblyman. Now, I'm paying to every single palace in this country. Inside ahemfo, the cook asen paying for what dano. She say be him for. Wambra, he na yembo a former president in talking about this matter says the president in lining up. Kochadam paying for one wife when you be more or said on Yansan. Man paying why and why line her up just to go and sing his praises. Now, honestly, you will come to him there. Will be in the ball of Papa and see. You think I'm sure I'm afraid I'm meant to manage a movie. I know Boeing Tamnian. That's right. Ain't it? Kwame, a man paying a chi. Oh, ye, a pama for Kwame. No, then Tantamara. MPP, we dare to walk where others only dream. That is the party. Ya Babema, Yanzi, yeah. Aja obidi na adwunu fa hwa sa ntase ndama kasaka se osana ye wojedi de ye wo nyansa na adwuna ye botum da ye abo man na omanpan na ye fikwem madano mende oya Ghana afana nyina ye wo 275 constituencies. Kwame nimu 106 ono oye often ono competitively ya me yi candidate dada ono ya compete and sana covid yorba ma otodubio ye na beba ye wo mbehye begofa enwo ene wote egwado ono ode ye no hihye sonko de akwake yo no ono na danu miminde na ono so nemu worien Fama, my Shannon, Nanu, Edosia. I'm not too sure about the figure. The so said it. Equal there. And one, Obiara and Tum. Nay, Suma Yadden, my win to me, Yakwe, and you will see Emperor. And see my Yakwa near 101 was a 102. I'll be all figures and correct from mum. Only Madame competitive parliamentary primaries. Kwame Mawa some in there. Moko Premin, Akaya da Biohoya Fe. If you also more, you also had a chitan crab, bad, good, bad, ugly. Na Bioso, Ese Akaya da Abana Wotwin, Akaya Sika Abba. Ma Dodon was the Sikafum. Ampa. No question, Yada Nina Mayotrahu. Now so at the tete, that's a been wedi. One from him. And see, Oyada Makada Oyanukwa. Menyon Trump was it. Now so that's a ba. Radio Sabia, what did you cram for Bakada Ampa, ma Obani. Na Kwame. Into your parent to doing them. Into your empire boy in there, into Kabum Kabi. Into your baya, wabra sikasam, out the him woman in Tobacco from cry. Oh, Yelbada, your feet. So ya be my yaban. Eddie Hra, the Sessiarum put it. Ma, now I assure you internal elections. Yelbada, Mamma Kai Abra NDC 1992. When I could see Emma. What ba? So ya must have Coralia, sir. I yakwa na Wubrantra, Wolf Sakai, under the Oyata Wedgie. Kwame, I'm saying that I'm not for it. Ma Obia Botunweswo, Obia Nyan Sans from Quaning a middleman, and na Yimzia Webenya, and the Tuhacha, Obo to make another one mine, in chat, Dodon, Natadam no Dokuri. Nanso adawo fra na batu wo bebiara onya da waya sikanyim sikawom nanso de sikani bedi han yimde ene ya hwede yi a yebodu e po bi do a onu so wo se awu na yim ewo yimde din ara enyim yansa din ara na se woto mamnyadu ebi yi wa sa onu wo fra wo fro wontum nyi nkomo yeye. And on Abaya the highest bidders. Inti Oyada Ohibin. Only the Yatawa Yasha Yina or there. Whether we can legislate. How do we do it? Don't spend to a certain amount. Well, Yatawa, you to me. Na on Yadoya, a man, yes, some good thing. Come in, it cut across. Lani GFA, Abaya, what we
heard such stories.
Abay. Kwame, to the extent obis no, man and the major, Wama bra papa, inti Adaka Motan, sir, why in the Kashafuma, by your favorite pay, na that can employ. Adaka said, Jiba 1,000 miles to Grandpa in Wayne Womb. Sir, ma a manful, what for do most wobble virtually in our life, every facet of our life. Ekwa asoma Kwame oho asoma batu kra woman oho nemom onye do ye fe onye da owo de ye tanwa na obaba na yaka pe baby ada na wase abebio na yaka. We need to do a certain engineering. So ye da obaya education. So the obaya mbra na ebo to be adwuna pompon hu de obi a roko competition we will not put fetters on you. So the competition is going all out and deploying all your resources, your good self, your ability to engage with the people, and also if you have resources, using the resources to assist you. You don't put fetters, but we can have a certain minimum there. Don't go beyond this. You put to me na ya share ma mayenami ansha na akaya kwa totor na maka na mewe na mim de munu anum so because adana kasara AOB ehwana meeting wo
na awo pede ko
ehwana meeting ehwana otai na maka da men SNDC sida
obscene violence and president and monetary inducements, indication of loss in 2020.
Kwame, Mwanga said in the first place as a opposition party. Kwame, there, Mujina ma part or wa beam. I am saying na Rubu Omano. And also at the party level. Why won't you say na where you presidential candidates? Where you know the chi, Nemo Bakade Bakaya official ten acclamation. Member know what you mean. Here manifesto why ready. Parliamentary candidates across the length and breadth of this country. Kwame maybe a cry near baby. Abaya that no member there too. No cry near baby. Abaya stand and also Match then no cry say what to do baby Sakwada so says what to end there. And they be say what's the Akayam Brasemi into Kune Bia Kwame on Tumna bro ni ye then set opposition party I knew here Kwame several places equal Eastern region Motuma where a down here crampo of an Tama East you think a tutu what you will go there candidate was weighing when who be Mawaka Kashe. What good do there? One fa and a more bimbra. Kwame. Yeah. Up to this point, equal Eastern region, Eastern region. Abetufi, no show. Empriso, no show. New driving south. Etua east. Etua west. Fantiaqua south. Several places. Opposition party. Only a face. Aba as far back as February 2019, the presidential candidate. Kwame. 1 year there's a 4 or 5 months in it. The NDC and wom Nimpobo tum abatamechi. Kwame, up to this point, running mate onto me. Na Sikasam, Kwame Babakaya, Abra Wabako, presidential primaries, war February 2019. And when war a nomination for what war?
No, I.
Obey. Kwame we fi.
Pade kem.
Kwame nomination fee was about one. All the others had to petition the Council of Elders. President Rawlings, no comment or yet. Kwame, it was a raping indictment on the integrity of the NDC. Walk on presidential family so. Na in your look you are Kwame, oh yeah, war party levels. Youth organizer, women organizer, and then one kasa. Even at the executive level, I okay with trade fair. Nina, you so Nina. One a national chairman of some powerful. I brought no open contest for Tama, one of the Tama constituencies. Tama West. He was then the Minister for Local Government and Rural Development. No, he in charge of less them. Kwame, Nzama, Sika. Odisim. Now, the LDC continues to delude itself there. I said, "Yo, Ghana for yeah, I refrain. Oh, Chada, wanu here. Intent man here refi." Then they come, and the very sense. One kasa, what the market and walk up, they tend to pontificate. NDC. But Kwame men kan tin sa me mda short time amanfo so ready na mesa hom nya wo eobi o yeda o de hina ya hwe o yeda o man hina yenwon ko ho so ya solmo so ya ankur eyiyem aworim ma oye bia a certain level of moderation ye bo hwede yanka se sikan chambotum dem fa so fofuru bi zaban odi na yezin hadwen ko including our politics primary sa ya boko enhyehyɛ ya party ya baye admonition ya de ba mamanfo inna say owode ya de mbrabi to regulate our hands. We need to get to that point and say ndama agiensem.
Okay. Kwame Duncan and Motin in Kano Peace 104.3. Abdul Malik Kwekuba, editor in chief of the New Crusading Guide is here. Kwekuma Chiakwa Banso.
Kwame. Waleni.
Wow, I'm out for you. In the meantime, ECGC Ochina maintenance work from Anopa 10 copy menu 5. Intino Utimi Anopea Bebia ECGC Ochina Anopa 10 copy menu 5. Ibidum Kanian Shire Hills Oyarifa Katamanso, Sweden, Ghana, Boteman, Anna Kwabenya Abum, Intino, Achana Monshan so, and a patent copy menu 5 ECG age maybe into Ibidum Kanya, I was Sam Potemuhina. In the meantime, today, the 24th of June, is your birthday. Chairman Atto Williams, have a great birthday, big brother. Chairman Atto Williams is from the executives and members of YEF, Young Executives Forum of the MPP, wishing you, Atto Williams, a happy birthday. One also goes out to Mami Isi Achre Kwesen. You're 19 years old today, Mami Isi Achre Kwesen, from your parents, Kojo and Millicent, Grandma Betty, your siblings Kojo and Kobana. And the last one here I have this morning, out there in London, Bishop Ejay Rudolph. You're 18 years old today. Happy birthday, Bishop Ejay Rudolph, from your dad, Fred Ejay Rudolph of the Tourism Board in Accra, Eastern Region, and your entire family. They wish you well. Kwamra, Yankwa MPP, issues namely two janum. Primaries matters arising, good, bad, ugly, vote buying, NDC's reactions. Nefe Yembra Kwame na favorite AOB.
I don't have them.
Someone general.
Yes, Kwame.
Medase.
Meso sir.
Didi kaino na what you said ne. Afidi so na ye di sam komoya na me di tudwa se na me srama ayi minua pani osebo nso amo honorable obi amo.
Obi.
Na me pese me da delegates na se if you say resource dem anim no chere say one more a place had the brano no ye miensa out of the voter population of 439 no 436 ne koto aba 3 essay enti the na valid votes are one more kan ye 433 honorable obi amwa enya 266 Emma represented 61% of the votes. Then other aspirants, no, o kan womu di nyina bomu a de omu nya ya ni nyina bomu a obiti omu with about 99 votes. Omu nya 167. O kan omu mienu no di bomu a. Eti aseda na me de be ma omu delegates no say womu to abanma no. Chama general.
Hala fe.
Minister Kwame Duncan omona ode omu party nsem onne nimu yi pa ena ode aba ye ni de akire as political actors na mesha se no meka se de course na no meminda no any previous elections bi ena afi so NDC for akan wasem binti one ankasa nsem ha course MPP elections mu e bi course omudie no mu in terms of certain MPs lose omu seats any allegations of vote buying nyade na chairman general me comment si me pese me ne Dr. Eric Odro sai ne enkomodia ode atudwa ewo informer front page review mode of electing candidates political parties urged me de nsam kan na ewo the Democrata yi mu no ene me nso madwenkyere binom na me de bedi sankomo yi chairman general
kana ba fe
kan MP Dibre and I said the bra your friend say MP no me gidi ye pa say who be here say on my mu no nyina ye di nkomo efa asudie a eda MP so ene enema esese MP oye esese ye di san nkomo no if is a wohwe yama mra etoso 9 Constitution 1992 year eno ne saa nsem a ekoso bebre no ne faribai na de ekoso na no yi is another reason or justification for yemu binum your consistent call say the Constitution 1992 needs an overhaul. Seriously, if it's a Chairman General say ade potia eye MP dibre na dwuma a sese wo ye ene kwan a ye betumi afa so assess ni yie we set up criteria na eye na nkomodie no eye na ye bibie wo ho maka no awie no MPs womu ejina our parliament no womu dwumadie no wo hwemu a wo kase wo chemu a ne fa bi wo constituency mpeso aso ho ana ne fa bi so wo mrache badafie aye omanmu ni nyina afie na kame akoye se ye ni criteria bia kwame aye standard anase susubia eno na ye gina so e dia assess member of parliament enti atoda ebinum se okọ parliament on kasada anya bia MP adwuma no kasa nko na kasa no kra no plenary obia ahia no nko na kasa ho ana ye sub committees wo mu di nkomo ho no eno ho nchemu no ehu hia but se yenya standard criteria na me fi se eno bebo asa nkomodie no na wakọ constituency what no ugina amanfo anamu na wusi wo mrache bedafie enti anya wo nkwa sabi utimu nyansa na wudi di dwuma no enti nkitahudie ban na koso ewo wone wamanyukuo wo mpeso asofo no entem ansana there's a other aspect say ugina wanyina counting cro amamra no ma ho kwan na ugina party di mu a party no wadaye so obotaye owanisodi hunu enti anya bia se de kwan a wofa so didi udwuma no say nani amanyukuo no enhyehyeye asi ekofa kwame me feel say saade no ehu hia say ye as part of your discussion no so o man ye disankomo no eyie every say ohwe amai binum a emrahye badafie o mo nhyehyeye akoyie pa na etoda me nka say no nko o longevity and as a long stay in parliament eboa in deepening the work there because institutional memory na ye ka no kwame ye trato one obetima kan o but the ye trato one ma wakan no eya na muruso senka wanka se ugina hobi na won kaye se na esi ye no na ode nkrata no eye den efo aso eye important now so ena MP ye to abayi no a yekoye swearing in our parliament ye to no abayi no primaries wie ya na competition ashas here ye betu no when in the last one the moment you do that nipa no so ye den o wan hwe ya o be affecting the focus any the commitment to adwuma esese wo ye pa no ehu hia say ye di sa enkomo no ye now first so Chairman General
yes
amanyoko ahodo comrade Abdul Malik Ohan Munti amanyoko ahodo abaso ene 4th Republic yi kwan a wo mo faso di wo mo dwuma efa emrahye badafie wo mo ayi wo mo bi on ma obete ye protect MPB ye say ye nyama ebinum de ye contest wo no say one set standard da bia obenya problem na de ntia me bo Abdul Malik di mu no CPP ewo abakosem bia kwame me hwe ne me course na nsan both in NDC ni MPP no ye ma tu ni mu under this 4th Republic nti obi betuma kan easily say ebia ye nya sa challenge ni bi enti na me kan de me kan but there was an issue CPP no and also a case in point and your constituency for no one decided on the candidates for parliament as a party. In fact, the Central Committee of the party, TPP. Now our big say based on research and serious careful study, a assessment based on a certain criterion, satisfying Dumadi and any panel be do a parliament, you know. And no one chua be can be. Anna, actually, one of my bayer, a canifo MPP Amanyu Komu, Victor Usu, and Araram Ponsa, one would free CPP. They were CPP members.
Yeah.
They were trained and baptized in the politics of this country under the leadership of or tutelage of Kwame Nkrumah. One money party no anya dwene kwanya na ye fa so aye some arrangement ewo asante ana ye peculiar based on interest any issues ana eye confront to party nti bachama na make we dia kase esese amanyokuo ye hunu kwanya betumi afa so aboa oman no ye enye ye party interest nko. It's good to win elections, but are elections an end in themselves? Come in. Any day, the big answer I will say is no. Elections are supposed to be a means by which we get the opportunity and the privilege to better the lives of a people. And it's how in elections we that's the ultimate. Say yeah, chichire man, yeah, man yourself no. Anya jumwa. Eya na akoya sa abato na wudi nkunim no kra na akoya bibia I the hunu bi. If you say senti pa ye to abama no ene je wode abato no mu nkunim die no eba beye. Na se wudi nkunim no wie na wantumi anya hu bibi dia. Ene na ye koya na se ye baye. Ne kra chama general me di si won mo no. Mesre okay a friend saying a Roman woman and Paul 2:4. Amanya ye no obia woni role a play based on the strengths. Na ho den any adoma chede anyame de ama no. Sabi kwame. Nipa ye ho na makwa ye anyame de aboye no. Uti awo de ye. Ifa uti no mu kra no, wo adwene wo ho, wo hwene wo ho, wo ni ane wano wo ho. Obi nkoji obi adwuma nye ema ne nye yie. Okasa anu nkoye de ahwene ye sesi ayi a. Kwame anu obetuma hwia de. Ahwene obetuma anu obetuma je aduane. Wo de aduane kwakofa ahwenim. Na obetuma tena. Enti ye nyina mesre. Owura bia wanya ni ba bi ko okansem bi. JH Mensa. The Venerable JH Mensa 2007 MPP4 conference bi ewo Koforidua Satana ya to aba yimi as youth organizer mene then isi regional chairman nana usu secretary ene koye na metiona ura JH Mensa kan sa asem ne say obia en checking ho check your ho ansana wo de ho asi wo say ye nto abanyu kwame no na mana medi ma no si wo sankomo edi ho say etoda yes it's good to compete, but sometimes we are not all cut out for some jobs in politics. Ya musa ya ho say aso dwuma de ya me say me pese me kokoye me wo ho nimde me wo ho adoma chede me wo ho ahusuo eya de a metumi aya na ya musa ya ho sa na ye sa de na chama general ye nyina ye behunu say e bia wo de ene atwatwro e bia wo de ne say wo kwakọ kasa nipa ho ama mudi sika beboa e bia wo de ne say wo bedi adanse e bia wo de ne say wo be kasa kire ensemu ama omanfo ate ase ye te ye ho ase sa wo ye manyuko nketo yi mu a ye ba oman kakraka no animu a ye nyina ye behunu say kokubako hu hia kwabrabo fe hu hia kwamra danka hu hia kwame sefa kan ne hu hia ye nyina ye ntimi nya adwuma kro na mom ye twetwe ye de ankrankran no ba be bomu a ene behunu say potokasa o mo kan say there is beauty in diversity no eyedma Ghana.
Kabila Medase, good morning Chairman General. I believe the mass craze to go to Parliament can only stop when Parliament changes the provision that allows 2/3 of ministers to come from Parliament. Other than that, every appointed minister would also like to secure themselves by becoming a parliamentarian. And then the unfortunate vote buying continues. Elder Saki in Kumasi. If corruption is properly checked and the guilty ones are prosecuted, most MPs will not get aloof money to pay for the money they used to buy votes. Nana Boache in Pokwase. In one of his philosophical lyrics, Bob Marley said, and I quote, "No more internal power struggle, for we come together to overcome our little trouble. The MPP primaries are over. Let's come together as a united family and rally behind the victors." Kabiesi in second D. Kwesi Reynolds in Agona Dobing says, "The only thing that will help curb this monetization is to expand the electoral college to have a huge number of delegates. The practice where delegates vote based on who doles out the highest amount of money will eventually assemble incompetent MPs into our parliament. Not until the 1992 Constitution of Ghana is amended to cure that monster of 2/3 of ministers of state coming from parliament, aspirants will continue to pay their way. It's time for constitutional review," Sir Obama in Pokwase. Kwaje in Atebubu says, "MPs forget their constituents after the election. They are ready to help during the election year. For instance, many MPs think of their family only. Delegates will continue to charge them if they don't change their attitude." Well, let me go to a student of parliamentary history and a lover of parliament. He has almost every Hansard over the last 70 years in his possession. Sometimes, on anything you're not or kind Hansard Nibia, sebi on the obetia say you take it lightly. As a sebi wa abadam. Now when you be at a social gathering, now he's reading 1963 Hansard. But 40 minutes not until no kind Hansard. Uboni di onti. I feel no how say uja me bibi. Me bibi. I come in studio.
No papa say a table.
A table. Abdul Malik.
Yeah, Kwame.
The race to Parliament, which is one of your favorite places.
God.
Yeah. Man, check this detail, but let me feel the view of Kwame Nabutum. Well, Boaminti, man, yeah, the check in them. Kwame, police stations are in who hold the elections, no. More elections in the scope.
Oh, yeah, Saturdays.
Yeah.
I also don't have the figure.
Wow. But check one year no consistencies, one year no police stations, yeah, dama.
Oh, yeah, no electoral
race, on about 2,000 something.
Yeah, over 2,000, yes.
I see. They may research ni. This is a no more deficit. But then pedem spread, you know, the normal where elections in the world. The places are disturbances, vote buying.
Okay.
And when I say, you know, because of the technology in terms of social media, telephones are all sorts of things. Anywhere can be captured.
Yeah.
Immediately put on social media,
yes.
Facebook and elsewhere. And it has its own impact. It might be a very minimal thing, very marginal, but when it is transferred onto that board now, it has its own implications. But say a fair analysis or there the scope, the coverage, then you identify where the problems were and what kind of problem it was. That is the way you cure whatever mischief exists. But to take one or two incidents out of maybe about 100 in your mosi and magnify it and proceed to make a judgment call is also not scientific. Or there you draw balance and carefully. That's why I wanted to know scope and coverage. Unfortunately, no. Mangasami research has suffered a certain deficit this morning, at least.
Suffered an imbalance, but it's all good.
Yes. Now, Kwame.
Kwego.
Kwame made a certain confession, I would say, or maybe an admission that this phenomenon on new.
Yeah.
And it's been ongoing. Indeed, basically, it is corruption of the political process.
Yeah.
And this corruption of the political process, Kwame,
yes,
party primaries suffer it. Parliamentary contest, general elections suffer it. Presidential primaries as well as the national one suffer. In fact, generally, is part and parcel of your political culture. Maybe invitation is to restrict ourselves to the Fourth Republic because on an immediate focus. But say Pedekanokwara, you can go back to all the republics we've had. And you were talking of Hansard. I've been taking my time to read some of those things. There is no republic or administration in this country's history are free of this subculture.
No republic.
None.
From first to now.
From first of under the great Osajifo himself to today.
Peace FM.
Subculture. And it is not good enough, let's be honest. And I think I saw that admission in Kwamre's submission. I thought it was really good. Because they had the courage to admit that the Damaji or a negative phenomenon is being with us for a long time, and if we don't check it, it could create problems for everybody. Here, CDD4, Westminster Foundation. My main cancer in the one kakra. For years and years and years, now my friend Mekano Westminster. For years. Now one day at na coffee shop base, young Queen Mofi, water region, Malon. Check out.
Yeah.
He's actually virtually a member of the group.
Yeah.
Now Oba Wefia Brocha Bane needs in commodity. And make aware also no, there's nothing like that, Mr. Come off it. What do you mean there's nothing like that? I said, no, you are wrong, Mr. I'm right. Yeah, I give you a man because I did from him could I bring
Westminster.
I said, no, there's nothing like that. It's Westminster, Mr. Come off it. You are wrong. I said,
oh no, to no.
See, me go field, me go office. Me go check me old man the files be na yam. If you spelling na me who the my law is right. I told myself that thank God that man can't on radio and TV. Let me go coffee shop
Westminster.
Kwame, one damn group here seated in 1 year research be on 2016 elections expenditure and the cost of elections. Right? The book is The Cost of Politics in Ghana. It's a fantastic.
Yeah, they spoke to a lot of people.
Yeah. They spoke to a lot of people. You are right here. What we say? They spoke to about 250. Also, the study breaks down the various costs involved in seeking public office in Ghana. To do this, over 250 aspirants, candidates, and sitting MPs were surveyed about their experiences in the 2012 and 2016 elections.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you, on average, candidates needed to raise 389,803, approximately 85,000 United States dollars to secure the party primary nomination.
That's average,
and compete in the parliamentary election in their constituency. If the cost of politics rises to unaffordable levels, the danger is that politics becomes the domain of the elite and wealthy, and that the motivation and incentives of MPs move from serving the public to recovering their own investment. I mean, who can debate this?
That's true.
None.
On point.
Unless you are a hypocrite of the highest order, or somebody who is suffering from gross selective amnesia.
Exactly.
Now, Kwame, you better pretend there, may read the CCI.
It's not true.
A true reflection of our politics. Look, Nikita, some documents on CPP here. CPP in this very beginning did not suffer this thing. There was a lot of market women and all those supporting it. In the beginning, I said, and this is pre-57. But Kwame, post-57, and indeed, perhaps it might have even begun slightly before 57, but post-57, the source of founding the party itself became problematic.
So part of the reason they fought in Nkrumah.
A true stage where, look, we set up even a public company. We friend Nadeko. It's Masa. Part of contracts, business, but also contracts from businessmen, commission.
Yeah.
I mean, we were collecting it.
So you had legalized it?
Yes, virtually. And it continued after the First Republic. Look, Mr. Samoku Jutu.
Yeah.
The Venerable.
Lawyer Kujetu.
In him donya case bill in parliament, they cited him for contempt of parliament.
When he walked out too.
Because his case was about something similar.
Okay.
He made a statement on the floor of the house there. The Busia administration was collecting percentages like 5%, 10%. And that was what Nkrumah's administration was doing, which they criticized. Now was unfair, prove mra. No beye putu. Was setting up committee in parliament. What in fact he faced the committee of privileges. Nah. What's one for evidence? I'm going to apologize. No, so apologize. So they asked him to leave the house. The speaker called a marshal and said, "Walk him out."
Not to come back again.
No, for that session.
Okay.
But one chap on the see. But Kwame, the Third Republic suffered same thing. Party financing is part of the problem. So look, we'll be looking at the party primaries and the corruption we see. And I would say some perceived by some real. Because after all, some of them are about out. Oh, me money say, ne madam for you man more, me rival and man or more.
Yes.
Either way, there was a swallow. Yeah, either way, there was a swallow. And it's your main problem. I mean, parties, how are they financed? If you take the primaries sector out, parties nankasa as political parties, when the campaign ensues, or even non-campaign period, how do they finance themselves? Where do they get the monies from? And how well one actually adhere to the political parties act? There were my audited accounts. What in my EC? Is it annually?
Yes.
How many parties do that?
Almost.
They Kwamina, one mark, but go and check the records. They're inconsistent.
No man, American don't was a man. As to the content, the substances are under.
Yes, but there are some that have even breached.
Yeah.
Some have breached for years. Me will record no.
Okay.
Some of the parties, including the two major ones, are not always up to date.
Especially on the financing.
I'm telling you, on the financing.
They fail in
record no. I'm getting easy for record no.
Audited accounts.
That is a violation of the law, the act. It's whatever effect the act is supposed to have, even on sources of funding, at least over guiding one in a very sincere or honest way. It's in the breach. They observe it more in the breach. All of them. Up a presidential campaign, how did the parties raise their funding? Kwame will raise the funding no way. Some external when even the law is against that. More internal and also businessman what them on what power. Try there or your investment.
Of course.
It's that corruption is a real case. Pretend. I mean my party office holder.
So
their campaign was not on the scale like MPP or NDC because the party had been marginalized by historical circumstances and things. But you ran the election, and the party had the inclination to run almost all constituencies. They started that way. Until they look for the money that will reflect the scope of the campaign. Quote unquote a small party. Historically, the most, to be honest, credible party. Historically, in terms of your record. But your contemporary Ghanaian history.
Is it historically the most credible?
Oh yes, I mean, the most potent and everything historically. Contemporarily, no.
Well, potency, yes, but credible.
Also contemporarily,
you don't expect me to say my party is not credible. That's the first thing. But I still,
especially when you're one of those who have contributed to his incredible nature.
No.
Kwame,
no.
Even though ANC is the oldest party to have been founded, they came to learn from the CPP. Look,
you see, perhaps maybe you are not getting my context, but whatever it is, that's not the issue.
Yeah.
So as to focus on that and lose the
proceed.
Exactly.
But maybe actually the phenomenon here, the corruption of the political process. You look at what happens during party primaries. You look at what happens during the general elections. You look at what happens during the presidential elections. You ask yourself the source of funding. where do these monies come from? And we are talking of millions of dollars. Why millions of dollars across the political divide. In a way, is canifi. So submit there a politician or one particular primary of a particular party. Not so the monetization is unprecedented. I must probe this thing. I believe that we should look at the bigger picture. We should ask deep questions. Because look, we can probe what happened at the MPP primaries.
Yeah.
2-3 incidents, Hayati.
Yeah.
Thousands of CDs are with here. Some of these things, in video though, I don't think we should deny. Like in the Damihu City FM, what news be? It was a video on NDC for youth and women open. Yes.
Videos
I saw it
on NDC.
Yes, technology changing first but now a lot of them were not captured and transferred for people to view. Why we can look at that. You can investigate the party Nankasa or guidelines. Some of those guidelines might have been violated. Political Party Act as well as the official one, the Yisifankasa. There's the act, maybe free.
5-7 political parties
act only 5-7 but there's the one that if the one that guides elections, public elections in the end, Ukomua, if you buy votes or you entice the voter, you are committing a crime.
Yeah.
Yes, I've forgotten momentarily the appropriate way to classify it. But everything that happened there, both against the party guidelines and the national legislative instruments, is against them. You're able to probe this one, but you see, we would have only scratched the surface.
Ras Mubarak.
Yes, he complained. I don't put also money laundering, so local lodge complain with the BN.
Yes,
I doubt if he did.
I say I don't to say. I went say also human rights lawyer. Or is it Sosu? As he spent no less than 300,000.
Yes, except the or the different combination of the elements.
So which is the where's the difference? Yes.
No. I'm just being always want to be fair to the facts first.
Exactly.
He mentions about 3 or 4 in things are scanon
or the
year.
Yes. But all was intended to secure.
Yes, and then also the source of funding still is a legitimate question to ask. But I just wanted us to be fair.
Their presidential 400,000.
Yes,
400,000. Then they jump on the scene.
Gozitano alleges vote buying in NDC primary, but hopeful of victory. He was saying then Gofu. Watch sika ne it's ban what do we label at
even the day of voting the day of voting the presidential candidate now was accused of giving monies out to go and vote for him. It's all over NDC.
We cannot tackle what happens only at party primaries and solve this challenge. That's my argument. So you better deal with this challenger. Let's be very comprehensive and sincere and honest about the phenomenon, its roots and its dynamics. And I'm saying there, the political parties, they all have questions to answer. Or can the idea of state funding for parties be not as a comprehensive solution, but at least in the sense there, it might help to
that the state can regulate spending.
Yes, and also they are saying there, Obutumwa lessen the threat. And there's a lot of research material. In fact, this document here, this book here, make it Ikoma, they then recommend certain things to be done. Foolproof. But these are the things they said to address these negative trends. WFP and Masha.
That's the CDD document,
Masha Dana Mambo in full because I heard them as the CDD Ghana recommend the following measures: initiation of a national dialogue among political parties, electoral institutions, and civil society to deliberate on the impact of money on politics and the expectations citizens and politicians have in terms of its regulation. More rigorous enforcement of existing political party finance legislation. Further efforts through both formal and informal channels to increase the transparency of election spending, including requiring candidates and parties to be more open about the cost they incur. a return to the discussion about state funding for political parties, greater engagement with citizens about the negative implications of making direct financial demands on their MPs, further research to explore whether there is a collective action program regarding change to the system, and to look at ways in which candidates develop credibility beyond money, that is social capital.
Yeah.
Further research into the intersection of political finance and the gender political representation gap in Ghanaian politics.
Peace FM.
Create greater clarity and differentiation between the party's limitations, role, and responsibilities, and the individual candidate's limitation, roles, and responsibility in campaign spending. Introduce practices and incentives that support parties to build loyal memberships and long-term financial planning for elections, possibly linked to state funding. Provide guidance and protection for Ghanaian private sector to transparently support political parties with the Electoral Commission. And the last one, support engagement between the EC, media, and political parties to address the cost of media during elections. Some of these things are not new. Some may even have been partially operationalized. But there hasn't been that determined, focused commitment, Kwame, to dealing with this thing. Because in actual fact, we are all guilty. And the truth is that we are all beneficiaries of this corruption of the political process.
Exactly.
The seeds of which were sown way back.
And we've continued, shamefully.
Can't make it a document of my own CPP, and I don't mean the present CPP as presently constituted, but the history. The CPP led by Nkrumah is the same CPP. Take it from me, in my view, is that strength
leadership
is decimated.
Membership.
Yes, there's no doubt that a combination of factors create a huge challenge for the present day CPP. But that culture, that subculture, Mr. Mankasa, Kwame, and they were here on MPP. You remember all these things? They went this for their own internal investigations and things. How I got them is my own matter. But if I read my own CPP, under the great leadership of the great Osagifo, Kwame, it's no joke.
So it's human nature, Abi?
It's no joke. And a major issue. How are we going to deal with this matter? It is a meet today, Bimu Peda would play political football. Hey, unprecedented, would you need 1, 5, 5, 6, 6? Okay. No, why then? You will solve that problem.
Maybe it's not to solve the problem. It's just to gain points.
To seek propaganda capital. Yeah. But you see, I'm saying that whilst you can do that, the truth is that you will not resolve that phenomenon, that challenge. And so what it means is that I will suffer from large dosage of selective amnesia. You are just perpetrating hypocrisy. You are seeking to make hypocrisy a virtue rather than a vice. Intimacy, you better do your politics. Go ahead and do politics with it. But the truth is that this problem will come back each time. I want to say your politics, come your Congress, come your mobilization for campaign. The same questions will be asked of you.
Where would the answers come from?
Yes, where would the answers come from? Kwame, they spend about 50 to 60, if not $100 million come the national, presidential, and general elections. Where do they get those monies from? Let's be honest with ourselves. Yeah, just self-introspection.
Yeah.
That's why I said we are all guilty of that subculture. And I do not want to hear some people standing out there and shouting unprecedented expenditure. Law no, Kwame.
Yeah.
I'm ending here. Law no can there say what didn't yet some simple $1.
Capra.
The law.
Punishment
Is that what the law said?
Some go scot free.
I read law. I mean, who be beat in terms of looking at the size, the magnitude of the bribe.
So, are you suggesting somebody spoke Chinese?
Exactly. I mean, intimate. Imagine, is it the quantum or is the principle?
Or the principle.
You violated the law even if you pay 20 cedis and I pay 1,000. And paying 20, kakra. That's how corruption grows. So please, let's be careful. Now, parliamentarians fought to be loose with me a vice chairman. Look, I've said this all the time. I mean, I'm one of those who advocates the parliamentary experience, expertise can and must be retained to a balance, because it's a democratic competition or a difficult or a tightrope you're walking.
Yeah.
This theory is a theory of tightrope. You're walking it, but if you manage the process well, long before election or primary period, and a certain convention and culture is created in that party, you can manage the process. Because there are personal ambitions, there are selfish interests, there are all sorts of things. Then there's the broader democratic principle of free and fair competition.
Peace FM.
But elsewhere, you go and check some other legislative assemblies or legislature across the world. You can have some people that wait 40 years, 50 years in the assembly. The wealth of experience.
Yeah. Some died there.
Yes, and the new ones that come are taught by them.
Yeah.
You see, I'm not one of those there. Competition, because it's competition, just go out there and ensure that the experience that had been gathered can be completely lost because of one election. No. Every serious political party must begin to find ways and means of walking this tightrope and do it well. Do it long before primaries. Create certain structures, create certain understandings, and retain some experienced legislators. It's critical. Otherwise, look, already there were problems with this executive fusing with the legislature. We already have that problem. Okay? Then, when you have a situation where experienced legislators leave,
are pushed out.
Whatever way they leave, they exit.
That's right.
The executive, an overbearing executive, will have much more room to manipulate the legislature.
Yeah.
2, crafting laws, drafting laws.
It's a skill.
Also, it's a skill, and that also could suffer.
Specialized.
So yes, I admit it's a tightrope, but I am for that, about creating the critical balance, and that's why I'm sad. And please, the winner should not think I'm against him or against his victory. After omitting the Lusane claim that was rigged, if you mention somebody like Mike Asibe Yabo,
I know that was your man.
Yes, I'm sad. I'm disappointed that at least he wasn't part of the core group that was protected.
But was a core group protected?
Oh yes.
Obviously, some people.
Went
I know much.
unopposed.
I cannot say this.
Some people went unopposed.
Kwamna, you see.
So, but you can't come to that.
Kwamna is a party man. Kwamna is a party man, and I expect you to communicate as a party man. I'm sitting here right now, be an analyst. There's no doubt that I sympathize with your party more than I sympathize with NDC. There's no doubt about that. But
even sometimes more than with your own party.
Yes. Because it's you are going to pollute this environment. I'm sad about that. There's another man, a gentleman, not a head of constitutional legal.
Ben Abdallah.
Yes, last minute, me try some movements because it was too late. Again, that gentleman should have been retained. If you like, protected.
He spoke very well yesterday on Behind the
Yes, you see, some are matured. Even Mark is matured. He's moving on.
Yeah.
But I am saying, and from my perspective there, so what can the mean input relative to this tightroping, walking the tightrope to create a critical.
At least you'd have saved 2 people.
Oh, the 2 of them, I clearly would have said, because minim what happens in Parliament, especially on the committee level. Kwame, no matter how brilliant and resourceful you are outside Parliament, the very first day you get there, you have to learn the ropes.
Yeah.
No matter. You may be whoever you are in terms of resources and academic or intellectual prowess.
You must learn there.
A parliamentary practicer, it's going to take you a while to be able to move and deal with the issues that are brought before you. And some people have gained enough experience so that new ones now, and definitely there were new ones coming. A lot of new ones are coming. They will need some leadership
in the house.
I'm a bit sad.
Your national conversation.
But the truth is that,
Minister, your national conversation.
Yes,
let's be less partisan.
Yes, but the party has a position, the party took a decision, Kwame as a party man will defend it the way he should. But listen to people like us too. It can inform more strategy and more how you structure some of these things. If it's what's
okay.
No man, now we lose.
Elijah left and Elisha came.
A reflection of the unpopularity of the government. Kwame, anybody who is
who said that?
It means that the party is going to lose, the government is going to lose, or that they are entitled to that analysis. It's also possible the new guys now will unleash some life into the party. It's also possible. If some of those MPs had become unpopular because of their own conduct or alienation from the rank and file, the new one coming in gives the party an opportunity, a renewed one.
Agitated ground.
So none of these schools of thought, absolute. I mean, if you create an absolute out of data, you'll be misleading yourself. Won't say, what can I can. New ones now, we're fresh. Let them go to the masses, the rank and file of the party first, to ensure, because when were delegates, it is not possible to say the delegates were failing. Yet totally a reflection of the entire constituency. That if you make that absolute, you'll be making a mistake.
That's why you need.
But the party itself needs to be healthy. The party itself needs to be cohesive and united. Into the new ones, straight you move in there and start dealing with the party machine on the ground. Something important for the losers, not to express too much sour grapes. Elections. I mean, co-elections that, and I'm sure I would never.
No, Marco Vida. We win when we lose some.
I mean, I'm sure that Marco Vida. It's too late. Maybe I made dream. I'm going to be 66 in the next
few weeks.
Yes.
You're also June?
No, I'm July.
July 7th.
The best.
No, the best are born in June.
Oh, don't waste my time with the June.
Let me even annoy you some more. Jerry Rollins was born in June.
No comment. Because this is deliberate provocation, and it will be so unfair. The birthday, no use a question of the birthday to make any negative comments.
It was 2 days ago.
He had no choice of his.
Yes, but
let's have let me annoy him some more.
I've always said this. His politics are the test. But look, he's a fantastic social being. I mean, the personality, the sense of humor, you can't take that away from him. Yes, it is just the politics, the text, but it's so obvious that it's a fantastic human being. You know, if you are with him or if you have known him, the sense of humor. You like that.
Or a guy.
Perhaps politics was not good for him.
But
sure, why not?
Kabila committee. To a very large extent, self-correctional. Second constituency tatani nan ebia my delegates who feelings one direction or you know na or reflect constituency. You need that healthy party first.
Yes, I agree.
But he said it. He said the party needs to be.
Yes, I agree.
When the delegates who constitute the party machinery, it is they who will move.
Yes, but they are not always right.
No, I know where Kwame is.
It is Kwame.
The retention principle never challenger.
And the point
is that the retention principle is not to be on a large scale.
No.
We're talking of
just binum I comment there. 40 MPs losing.
Okay.
No, me check there. Say show me a crowd here, man. Osana Kwame. Say a party or two C party nangasem.
Yeah.
One man polling saying has no executives of the polling stations and one within the polling area and one when these are the campaigns. One way campaign what amount for elevate party interest na dina. And this one so ya obia all when enjo wa na party your problem. It is say one ya kwan ma wa wo kokia. Then it's right, they have made a choice.
In principle, he's right.
Yes.
Except that because of that distortion monetization in some respects. It's not in all cases. Na delegates no really. I had the right choice.
Okay. That's true.
I give it to you on that. I give it to you.
All right, let me move on. Maxwell Kofi Juma says, if our democratic experiment is going to be sustained and made meaningful, we must destroy vote buying within our politics. We must turn around the financing of campaigns and elections. Restrictions must be imposed on parties and candidates on their contributions towards their campaigns and elections. Kwame, the biggest contributor to this absolutely corrupt practice is the inability of the Electoral Commission to properly supervise our parties and elections as mandated by the Constitution. If we want to control national corruption, we must start from there. It is the mother of our corruption. Okay, Kabila. By the way, Section 33 of the Representation of People's Law 1992. Alexander Sefa and
thank you.
Okay. All right. Kabila Impon.
Yeah, Chairman General. Primaries in some the parties and semi where they may it requires a broader
big one
a forum and conversation with
time.
Some of the research now the time I wait but you see minister, even the internal party issues about delegates choice near day sometimes, and it is clear in both NDC and MPP, some claimed and also alleged endorsement of presidential candidates playing. You understand? There are a number of factors that go in. Party, national officers, their preferences and choice here.
Mame
Kanyede, if you listen to what happened in the NDC primaries and what happened in the MPP primaries, now we are. It was becoming clear that some delegates, some candidates, or some delegates, of course, swayed or moved towards who the presidential candidates of their parties supported or allegedly supported. There, if I NDC da, Nipa na wasi John Mahama supporting. If I MPP da, Nipa wasi Nana Akufo-Addo was supporting. It worked.
It's in the realm of speculation.
Yes, but why? Politics are here. Speculation is part of it.
Okay.
In fact, in many occasions, speculation becomes reality in our political game. Chairman General, but I want to make a point about something. The place of money in this whole discussion. No?
Quick one. Somebody said you talked about the place of money.
Yeah.
Somebody says, I see the greasing, quote unquote, the greasing of the palms of delegates as quote unquote distribution of wealth.
Well,
by the way,
that's an interesting one.
By the way, I was born in July. We are the best. Don't bring yourself lawyer. Yes, Kabla.
Yeah, our days are coming very soon. Next week. Yes, I say.
Yeah. Cynical input there.
Yeah, Kabla.
Oh, you see, the two issues I mean, the sources of funding and the spending, where it goes, and that's where Bombay's argument comes in. Look, the politicians are say, "Oh, this cannot connect." Where do they spend the money? On whose demand do they make those payments? So we have a certain culture in our country. In fact, I might be brave will be, but yet the idea coming. The again is where your politics are. The moment where your politics, no, you are a source of money. Who will be only be a come amount for? To the extent that even when you are going to meet delegates and also party people to speak about your vision and your programmer, no, you are no cry. Well, you can say all the beautiful things. It won't take, but I again, you see, Bombay said something, and I think I want to make this point, meaning whether it will sound as contradictory. Look, it is true. Said the issues of corruption, internal party investigations from First Republic, but Kwame, you cannot also take away from the fact, say, the resistance, any attempts at fighting it, are important, and only the only thing about my is again. Because President Kufuor said something which Nkrumah had said somewhere around 1962 in the US. People, TV station being an interview. No? The fact that corruption is as old as Adam, and that it is a part of us. The most important thing is how you can expose it to the opposition of the public, and then those who have got the power to fight it, fighting it. There's evidence that at any time CPP investigate allegations by about corruption in the leader of the party at the time and the leader of the nation instituted investigative mechanisms and dealt with it to the extent that some ministers of state were made to return assets. Yes, so those things then sent a signal. Say, yes, there will be acts that will challenge your politics, but how are we responding to them? And only the most important thing, the CPP showed the way. And I want to see leadership today.
There's one, let me add this. Okay, the one I'm bringing is a minus. It's a negative for the CPP. One say, a man named S.I. Drusu.
Yeah.
Yes.
He was a backbencher. No, he even was at once he was deputy to my father.
He was an MP.
Yes, and he was an MP. 1965, we sacked him from the party. The Central Committee expelled him.
Why?
He was a member of parliament. Look, and it's because my enough research. Not everything he said all the time was factual or truthful, but he had the character of insisting on integrity in our politics and for that matter the Nkrumah administration. And so anti BB, so one smell corruption, the man will go public.
Like this appeal for you.
Exactly, he's like that. Even though you see like PC you've called, he also wasn't always right.
Yes.
The
Vodafone, yes.
The Vodafone thing was right. Wrong.
That's right.
He had no evidence
right.
when he was called to the Mills Committee.
Contemporary text.
No, and the character.
That's
the
right.
character is the same.
Yeah.
Make sure he doesn't smell corruption.
S.I. Drusu.
Oh boy, I stand up for him.
Really?
Yes, Kwame.
Speculative.
He created some problems. Yes, true. But on the on large level, in large measure, am I right, Kwame?
Yeah.
But he was right. And 1965, he created a storm in the Ghanaian parliament over corruption allegations and issues. And on net or target the old guys, the big men. It's no one penasam cry. 2 days before the coup, the Central Committee met and dismissed him, expelled him from the party, and for that matter from Parliament.
I see.
2 days the coup happened.
Well, thank you very much. But
it's not always that we actually protected the whistleblowers. There were times
that you threw them out.
Yeah, we threw them
because if you know,
you see, you are endorsing exactly the point I'm making. In this case, it's not as if he was booted out because he said something right. The party dealt with indiscipline.
No, indiscipline to some extent, but he was exposing corrupt activities.
No, but you have just admitted that you were just admitted that he was in the character mode of PCIP for it. Who got some things wrong?
Yes,
but he said in a large measure, he got.
We can debate that.
And this is based on my research.
Yes,
in a large measure,
yes.
Most of the things.
The point I'm making is that when there were rare hearings about corrupt issues, the party investigated them and dealt with them, including taking back assets that some ministers were.
Dawn broadcast. After the Dawn broadcast, top CPP ministers, top ones, the original part of the original core, were all made to return some properties.
Thank you.
Yes.
That's the point I'm making. Let me proceed.
And it's documented.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you very much. So that's the point I'm making, that the CPP fought corruption. Even though corruption was there, it existed. And we are not going to deny that. Let us be sincere about these issues, Kwame, and then move on.
Kabila, Mapo.
Mr. Midway here last, President apologizes to Nigerian High Commission as also council claims property. Chairman General.
I know how Kwame na de be ne de.
Well, I was obi ani baby.
Kwame na de mini baby ne de.
Ghana.
Also come over.
Madam.
Oh my Ghana. Yenhwe ne be this national conversation. Land ownership and land use. Me, as somebody who comes from royalty, land ownership there, but land use is vested only in the hand of the state. Oh, yes, you have own but use there, minister, town and country planning, ma'am, I'm not quite say, you find your way, won't me yet.
Was the son wasn't? Was the son wasn't? Was it from the loose part? Land use and spatial planning.
Thank you. What you the land use was about?
And spatial planning authority.
That's it. And the master and info. Where the Mesra Pa Kwame. And Sasa Sammy can't. Young Triabu. If it's a Republic, dear. say oman Ghana ye republic die oman na sase eyusu nkwa semba ewo mu say ye odia nana no mesremu madama me ye mo nana me ye mo ba me ye mo bibia mesremu nya anisa ba ye republic na de amamra na ye adwuma die eba oman no asase sem se de di dwuma e oman no asede na mesre se mo mpani apachaw ama Nigeria High Commission na o ma say ye investigate the
apachaw ma Nigeria mampani
apachaw ma Nigeria mampani
ofre no
thank you
but Makabila okay mentaso
no I will be covered
info he na asase onye da obi ebeje finisem that's how they make us understand by their statement.
Whose statement?
By Osu.
Their involvement in this matter is that the land is theirs, and that what happened there, they are condoning it or endorsing it.
No, they're not the condoning. They were the ones who went there to demolish the place.
And I'm saying they
did so because they had done an earlier invitation and also warned them. And all of that, they didn't respond to that. And so what they decided to do, that you have trespassing on my land, so they came there to demolish it.
So the Nigerian High Commission took the land without appropriate authorization.
This is a place separate from the commission. Where the commission
I'm saying, so they had no documentation. Is that what you're saying?
That is what the
that is what he is claiming. I'm saying that. Let me make my point.
Wait, okay.
My point is that, Kwame, the issue of land use in Ghana, you're discussing here. If it's a the way you see months as a bako, near Tom and Nipa 10, Nipa 20. Now, and land commission over Columbia Sukutankrata, a free land commission. No, they say a hard journey. Yanni who come ye. Now, Yama or mine to me, and on a track when I am fast. I say, Yam Fanya Jumano, Yama no Nunya Juma. They make an
TV only a cancer will show you.
There's an IPAC meeting. Now, Marco.
Okay, all right. All the best.
Kokrokoo, you wanted to make an input on the land matter?
No, the same thing, the land.
Okay, and I'm going to come now.
Kwamna land na ebe yana. Kwamna be suspect no of.
Kwamna obe land na Airbus.
No, Kwamna is traveling. For sure.
He's on an Airbus.
It's predictable. It's maybe we land is no. Yenja flight schedule no.
Schedule.
Obe miss the flight. Kwamna me boa.
Yes.
You know, honestly, the way and manner the demolition exercise was conducted, it's terrible. Look, it lacked finesse, it lacked even legitimacy, and it's an embarrassment to the country and to government. No wonder there was a president. But and the Minister of Foreign Affairs so quite embassy and also no couldn't come on and also apologize. It's unwarranted, needless. We're subject to your international image to a certain level of extent of ridicule. We're a law government society. So you will land in poor.
Yeah.
How do you go and do that thing? My investigations are so far, and I'm being careful so far. Any judicial processes?
Yeah, secure.
Secure. Yeah. It's so serious. And the Paramount Stone will issue a statement boldly, virtually acknowledging they were responsible for what had happened.
Not virtually, acknowledged.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm just choosing my words carefully.
Because according to them, the land is theirs, and it is not part of the land that constitutes the Nigerian High Commission, and that, as far as they were concerned, a Nigerian businessman was building on that land with the protection of the High Commission.
But Kwame, you use the remit of the law. Yeah, or you says you are such a way we would do. Inti order ko oyam brenayim na kaji da mutumin. And one branch judicial sanction.
Yes.
That land is vested in the president in trust for those who too.
Oh, it's a state acquired land.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I see.
And so lawyer B here only because it didn't me judicial documents be me sanka. But me there have been 2 or 3 cases in court. It be a high court, be a Supreme Court. I will show that those lands our state acquired before the 1992 constitution came into being. Those lands say state pedal or transferred to another place and not another person or even not the original purpose were acquired now. There is no basis for it to be sent back to the from the traditional
original owners and Alodia owners.
But I stand to be corrected because me reading the judgment not papa. But that is the point. Into on your water. But Kwame,
well, since I'm reading their statement, there's one line that just one line that tells me a lot. It says, "This is the forgive me. This is the second attempt to forcibly take over land that belongs to the Osustu by unknown persons acting under the political influence of the Nigerian High Commission."
Kwame, document here Mikitawahi is dated 7th August 2000.
7th August
the 2000. Year 2000. It's from the Lands Commission.
20 years ago.
Addressed to the High Commissioner, the Nigerian High Commission, through the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ghana, Accra. Allocation and right of entry to Accra Osu Manche layout, site for the Nigerian High Commission. The Lands Commission has directed that the site H-Ping on the attached site plan and covering an area of 4 acres be allocated to the Nigerian High Commission in regularizing the occupation of the land by the Nigerian High Commission, P, and the amounts to be paid. If you are receipt to be what how show there, and it's Standard Chartered Bank, and Standard Chartered Bank, Ghana Limited. Check or 330,000 Ghana cedis. That is cedis then.
Okay.
So the Nigeria, it turns out that the embassy, the High Commission, has the legal.
I see documentation for that.
Legally, they are occupying it.
But Ojam, when you read okay,
this is the year 2000. Now there's another thing that make it our land certificate.
Yeah.
It is from Lands Commission. Mami read. Also, this is to certify that Glyco Health Limited, a body corporate registered under the Companies Act 2019, Act 992, and having its registered office in Accra in the Greater Accra region of the Republic of Ghana, is registered as a tenant or lessee for a term of 50 years from the first day of September 2018, subject to the reservations, restrictions, encumbrances, so and so and so and so. The same land you. Whether my Nigerians know the High Commission, let me be more precise, 2000. Would see a scour 2018. Ya register Glyco Healthcare Limited as tenant and lessee. Ya dama also 50 years.
One another more.
Lands Commission document, I make it Land Commission document. And we processes in in fact registration will be in the 29th August 2019. Ne was signing of 5th day of May 2020. Now this clearly there's a discrepancy, but it ought not to have happened if record keeping was proper and consistent. Many another letter be
so Lands Commission saying each other land Konan Oye Nigeria High Commission one krata one second 2000 on 2000 and Oye 2 years ago ya so
yes Glyco Health Care Limited and then finalized BBR 5th May 2020, but the processes began. If you read this thing, 2018, first day of 2018, about the Mahu for 50 years. Now the explanation, a source at Lands Commission and my says document. Kwame, this letter is dated 4th July 2019. Also, request for title documents in respect of site at East Ridge, Osumancha layout. Teo, and the reason they are giving for why this discrepancy has occurred. This letter says reference is made to the above subject matter with the subject site plan attached for ease of reference. The subject piece of land falls within an area vested in the state in trust for the Osu stool and managed by the Lands Commission on behalf of the stool. As the beneficiary stool, the chief of Osu has granted the land to a company team, Glyco Healthcare Limited, and the company has subsequently applied for a lease over same at the Lands Commission. As part of considering the application, the Lands Commission conducted an inspection of the site and observed that the embassy has enlisted the service of a private company, Good Luck Security Service, to protect the said piece of land. The records of the Lands Commission, however, does not reveal any recorded interest in favor of the embassy, and I'll explain. We therefore wish to request you to furnish us with any relevant document the embassy has and any comments from the embassy in relation to the subject site within 14 days from the date of this letter to enable us take the appropriate action on the application received from the company. The Lands Commission would advise itself if we do not hear from you by the said time. Counting on your cooperation. Thank you, Maxwell Edu Insa Fua, Regional Lands Officer. Now, the Lands Commission source this letter, the Nigerian High Commission did not respond to. And because the Nigerian High Commission did not respond to, they proceeded there. Then they don't have legal rights over that land.
I see.
And they give the explanation there. Nigeria full war documents it, copy of which Mbiketa had, was apparently at the national headquarters. And that they who gave this land, who did that thing with the healthcare for no, were original. Again, it will bring
is there no synchronization?
It doesn't make sense. No, I'm not saying. I'm giving you the facts. I mean, what I do is always assembling all the facts.
Exactly.
When you assemble the facts and you relate them, you get the significance. So at the bottom line, you still see that no, this is. I nearly said.
Okay, don't say it. Don't say it. Minim. I know.
Let me it's a judgment call.
You may call it cow dung. It makes
or cherish it.
Your children are listening.
It's not good enough.
No, it's not.
Apart from those show there be a record keeping, a very bad abysmal, a system very coordinated and coherent. The truth is that there was also the illegality, the way you go and break down things without a court order. I mean, it's a mess.
Talking about the mess, a lawyer who will remain anonymous says, Kwame, the Osu stool has been claiming for some time now that the lease originally granted to the then colonial government for the ministry's area up to Ridge has expired. They've been claiming for some time now.
Yes, it's true.
But as usual, we have not resolved the issue.
Yeah, but
maybe
he's a lawyer. There's one lawyer, because I know he's an expert and authority in Oberland in Yama, Mama Yanko Kwame Jan.
Yeah.
And that not major no. Maybe or my friend. I was on Facebook discussions and somebody brought his name up, and that struck me there. An omission on my part because he's an authority.
Yeah.
Yes, no matter what people think about him.
And lawyer the abe ma wofado queen wofado okana. Okay.
Also general context.
Yeah, but claiming
Osufuna did them. Maybe we haven't sat down to have a chat.
Yeah, but that's public. I mean, we if there.
Oh, the last. Make I watch one wall so.
Including young if you cry.
Them.
One day yes or no. Or what's a so telephone number me boho. Last week Auntie Mosia. Anyway, I forgive them, so maybe I shouldn't see on there. That was Nungwa one. What did let it be about was a stop order.
That's
plot
right.
now me develop. I should not plot. What's a stop work? They move who you fire documents in Yambra. They say I to be in contempt of court.
That's right.
Let me share no man. Let me friend no man. Me friend no man. Me Sando or represent the Nungwa. I did say yes. Let me say well. Me hear the letter be. I was send me letter be. This is what the letter says. I say yes. Let me say look. Tell your chief that Abdul Malik Kukubaku, I'm not coming. Oh yeah, Mister, I am not coming. And if they like, they should come to me. No coffee shop. if they won't come to coffee shop, they should come to my father's house, the office. I'm not coming. May read the letter, no, it makes no sense to me. There's no legal leg on which you are standing. If you are going to so Mr. Baku, Asuma Boni, near Bono, it shouldn't be me. It shouldn't be me. Every citizen deserves the right
Peace FM.
If you come away also, Nanchamin, the Homo way bantine, mobilization.
That's all. That's one growth.
Yes, it's let if you want to call let me this phone now, Jimmy. Let Jimmy communicate with them that I'm in a meeting. It's I may decide or them me mobilization. I made them on. But they legally, you may catch them. If I'm a friend TDC, you were there. That's a
later.
My lady, yeah, you were there. Maybe if you cry. I take this phone or show me. What's a look? No, they have no title. That place is TDC land or TDC full water. In fact, that is what I did first.
Jimmy, special aid.
Yes. Me assurance from TDC there. I was on solid grounds, you know. And so me a call. No. If you want to die, I mean also no. It shouldn't be me. Anybody else who is entitled to do all your construction should not be subjected to that kind of harassment.
Exactly.
But apparently it's a practice.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so Kwame, this thing or messy. Honestly, it's good the president. In fact, Minister of Foreign Affairs, what first statement no crowd was in order. You know, they tried to do that to reduce.
Cool it down, yeah.
But you read what the minority issued?
Yes, I did.
Amazing.
The issues
I did. Some a Blackwell had signed some tough statement. They implicated government. Otherwise, to express anger.
I'll tell you, Kwame.
To express anger and disappointment, what had happened was in order.
What politics
but they proceeded further to implicate government. That is where I think they got it wrong.
Very, very strong word. So eventually giving us up.
Wow.
Because it was an opposing party that is in government. Amazing.
See,
our politicians.
Amazing.
But I hear that.
If you show me a CEO, 1 year if you show me, and there, no kaya dot them. Straight away, no act of aggression.
But I took Scroham, the embassy, no, the High Commission. I mean, who are there? One respond. Not that it's an excuse for what has happened, but simple response and attach your documents. That would have helped too. And I'm able.
Maybe I want to feel that.
No, it's look simple.
This is a state institution. No, actual bro. And enjoy that. Even
though it's not an excuse, because how can their documents it be regional, it be national, like there's no coordination. I mean, it doesn't make sense. At all. So the greater blame, is on the state. I mean, the state institutions.
At all.
Now, why would Bunya manate? Kwame.
Police is watch you too.
Oh, fantastic. Or they watch one more court. We are, or they will bail one more reconstruction at their own expense.
Exactly. Utiaka.
Yes. It's as simple as that.
Anyway, before Kwame wraps up this morning's edition, Kokrokoo is done. Just a quick advice for those of us who are looking for investments, financial health, and business support. Remember, Daffin Finance is your best bet. If you want to plan your retirement, you're saving towards your retirement, building your business, you're seeking education, Daffin Finance has a planned investment product. It also has fixed deposit call accounts, amongst others. So speak to an advisor at Daffin Finance for further details. Daffin Finance offers you the best financial solutions to whatever it is that you're thinking. Give Daffin Finance a call on 0302 201 702. That is 0302 201 702 or 055 822 9858. 055 822 9858. You'll find Daffin Finance adjacent the Tesano Baptist Church on the Circle in Swan Road. Daffin Finance, your preferred finance house. Kwamna Yapon.
Yeah, Chairman General.
Yes, sir.
Asam kasepa de Ejumoku a oye yumihen na mbrebia owo ho a ohyen osane be mo ye na ejuman mbra obohu ina ho bai
no
de ejumai ari ye nya da ba fado na aman abem nyimpa ana public officials bafado na de admze za ma ho mfa kwa papa do ade ye djuma na we budo a onye mbudo nkakaba bi yeda woye ya amaya Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Taiwan, Ghana amaya pa wofado ye djuma otedam
Peace FM.
Hami omai Ghana hezili ka ho menti oya France abrochi aban nankobata damadi wo bo ho ban wo hwehwem wo ye ndama wo ne kwado aye de mu hwehwemi oya America eman aye de mu hwehwemi ho nyina da court United Kingdom in the Crown Court at Southwark and Southwark
Southwark
hey.
Oh, welcome. Welcome to the link.
Southwark. Hey. Now, my spellings are what my son was.
If you follow the spelling, if you follow the spelling, Southwark. Southwark.
Okay. In the matter of first 45 of the Crime and Courts Act 2013, was the assembly or deferred prosecution agreement. Was the assembly Kadan court on date 31st January 2020. None of them. A Jumaku Airbus. One way didn't it? Why to me the man fire and fun break na indeed has some name way for nan train has what. And see Kasa Yabaka, my yard young from Atum, Manchester Bayer, Makaya Boba here, Yajatum, Mayatum Yakodin, and see the me and now in Jersey, Abuchi, Shishoma, or the no one some quacoto, or ya a Temwing or Tegum was Saudi court you or quacoto, 31st January. On them no yet the work months in February. Kwame. Na kwati nsa sha asimoji tum a Ghana yewom February no obobo ade wo manyin o kire de aba panyin ni mpa wa to aba man plane a yekwekotoi yumhian a yekwekotoi onu nutum no twetu kra onu ne kasan no obokwekwo wie da sika plane wo boto ana wonto government official major decision maker kwami 2009 also woto aba madami impan 2009 besi oye 2012 na so de wa bem up to 2015 ento mai February na government official one them adina wo oya nkrata yi mo courti ajatum ma abede gwa wiadze amanze wiadza fan na nyina abede heyim na obia dina nyobu a yeyi yefima mo obia dina nyobu a odina nyobu amampayinda da John Mahama Kwame iya sam kasepa de rekoto yumihan da moman na abede gwada efa kwati kurase ema enhyehyeye a enyi oya wo fa na eku anada adwumaku woye nnam hunuado masika eji over 5 million euros February asem bai mampayinda da ankahwe March oyabo mampayinda da ankahwe April ebobra o mampayinda da ankahwe May esuso kitaba o mampayinda da ankasa neti yaba oye wo fa na
June
obrezi yabam Kwame o mampayin da repede o man basade nutum da mo na wodere mo a o de wonye jedi wo mu de Sarebaba Bema Numfa Akoya Rodo Untotada Kwame Edibaja Demzi Dash Ukutokum. So this was a major issue. And so yada Orumpa Kwame so Orumpa Osani Yankupon the major Mama Mama Nkwa Baya Sadon Shiroko and the Don Shire Bimpa Mingina Manado no Minya no Fancho mine 5 consecutive solid months. That mean a year graphic but that's 3-4 days ago. On yes a graphic reported as an acron in Chino on in Akasha corner. And Nilsa more kind there. My court is about to go one farm more to go there or 2 or 2 Sikabia the ma. Oh yeah, a bem impa. But that's not what the court said. That is not what the court has said. Kwame, my court na jatuma. Oh yeah, Airbus. Ajatum de my ye there. Abra one gasaji that's there. Upena no Professor Mills. Or the Police Council. Or the Shawunsa. Armed Forces Council. Or the Shawunsa. In fact, in this conversation with the graphic reporter, he has admitted that he was in charge. And straight away says yeah, there's no doubt there. A government official one now. President Mama Ajatum, he was the one.
On them.
Oh, but Kwame. Unless of course you can point to something else which contradicts the point I'm making. Unless you can point to that. He tells us in this chat, in this conversation, the president then assumed the position of chair of the National Security Council. And he was made responsible for the Police Council and the Ghana Armed Forces Council. And that he was the person who was in charge in procuring the C-295. That's what is found in the conversation.
Oh, Makan.
Exactly. So unless of course you can point to something else that will contradict today. Only in he is the government official one. But
on any explicit admission of that.
But so were you expecting that? Were you expecting that the graphic reporter will go and then put the question to him there? So, Mr. Former President, are you the government of Shawan? Then he will say, oh yes. At all.
Oh, teacher Governor.
Kwame.
Mo put me in there. It's Unya. Oh yeah, Samuel Adam Mahama. In this court document, there, Adam Mahama initially came in to act like a business partner of Airbus and signed in 2011 after the contract had been signed. And officially, or apply to Airbus, the Airbus engineer as business partner. Abra Airbus in Penford to me. They knew that he was the close relative of the person who is making the decision. All of it is captured in the documentation. All of it. Now, and then she shared that all Babaya done business partner. They will create a company in this documentation. Company D. Kwame. Oh yeah, Adam Tibia wasn't my president, Maman. On ya da over direct. It's like a share company. Now we're trading what I call the share company. Oh yeah, Ura Mama Nunia Kakraba Samuel Adam Mama J. I above fire and go food. What can I Obia no you sunny, Obia Tunton football. No wonder ma. I tell a crime, Bedman, what them po, or some. I brought what you deal with. Says I was a call, or your Greater Manchester. A deal on him on over £400,000. Oh yeah, deal with. The matter is so big. It poses a lot of questions. The former President Mama, you are asking Ghanaians to indeed entrust their sovereign will in your hands. And you man with the sooner doing your mempangu, that's what we summer. The man to make a sanction. How Samuel Adam Mama came in, how he became the business partner. How he created this company. Register this company. There was a company that he came to register, the Registrar General. How did he come in? Because in this document, it is clearly spelled out there. Samuel Adamama has no knowledge, expertise whatsoever in aerospace issues. No expertise, absolutely none. And yet he became the business partner, created this company, and into the account of this company, monies were paid. Abra, when you do diligence at a point, no, we cannot continue with this. Then company, a Spanish company, which they refer to as intermediary aid, then was brought in. Then the payments were made through this Spanish company, and from this Spanish company into Company D. Is it, Kwame?
Yes.
The matters are hanging heavily on his neck. The Airbus issue, President Mama, or the Wukong as a president in procuring airplanes for the military, you decided to seize that opportunity to take monies. But even more importantly, Kwame, say Sierra, paper, our friend, the Sun, Irish paper, UK. Kwame, description other money there. President Mama had a corrupt network. The offered this network in offered na ademuze other jinisika. And this is the person who is seeking the mandate of the good people of this country. This is a broken story. And so I'm not sure that just on this single platform and this opportunity we may be able to exhaust all of it. Kwame, in the days ahead, we will revisit these issues and these germane matters. President Mama, please come speak to them. The men Ukraine, Kwame, Meme Orbe, MPP, what the room? Look, you are here, you want to join a political party. You have only one, the New Patriotic Party. Bibia Quandam, come, fair. And the Yababe Musa, a chinge you walk, Kuna Yafado, Nayadisha, Yandama, Yabu, or man, a chinge better you walk. Zabidum. What the woman wants to say, where is this coming from? That is what MPP does whenever it comes into office. Yamin Chade, Yatu, Oyam Beshebugua, Amanfa, what the one who's one Yatu Wina, what about Yenya 275, maybe I better say, 3-4, maybe outstanding. Honestly, the pipey, the baby if you say, yeah. Maybe then she's sure one there. Kwame, the president must have the authority of the party. To now begin to call himself the presidential candidate for 2020 general elections. The party is sharing there. The National Council of the party, that's where that authority lies and where he could get it from. Na my chairman or Tegum, Pimpa or Canoho, and she show that or my name, my party, ya jatum, my afford to there. Aquapa. Wejuma asonyi na yipon fu Japan na wopian e man hihie oda ba Kwame hihie oda ba onyi binibi I indeed Kwame, I indeed recall my own days as a boy in senior school where Kwame, close to end of term, the senior house master will be there and call out those who owe. Kwame market trip for 2 weeks and to get my old lady to dispose of some of her clothes and send a Kwame obi oru ton tam ahina kakra and send me nya be da ko mo companies am so kwa na baby waye thousands and thousands of Ghanaian homes, they have similar challenge. Man peina wa ba oye sika yem fan ya Bas Brandon na yem fa di team font to ho oye sika ya ba ya mo obiara ife biara. This is equity. It will not be one that will engage in some high life projects where we will be the ones that will benefit from. It will be done in a manner that every household Ghana ni biara no babia banyabi. It's a major thing impa wa wo ne ban no yim kura ba fado na wa hwen nti oman ma yi hwe he na ma okeke ke ho a kwa be mi do original time nti muntu munka on hwe he na oman payin memenda se yakọ yakaka no tum moyi oye na bedechi another game ba omian mechi awia Ghana ma chechi ma yetum ya hwe meduma Paul yan wetum atado
Meda say quick one from the Supreme Court and him there amicus curiae case we call Supreme Court filing of an application to join the writs filed by the NDC and a private citizen. I'm saying Imani, right? Okay, the Supreme Court has dismissed it.
That's right.
It says that application was filed out of time. 2, the applicant had not been neutral in his pronouncements from day one. All amicus curiae are expected to be neutral by law, so cannot hold himself to be one. The application was also not supported by law. Then also the Supreme Court had oral submission on the second writ, and that is one Mark Tichibanson against the EC and the AG. The Supreme Court will speak on that one tomorrow. That's about it.
Coming the General Secretary, NDC General Secretary, on no insight amount against the Supreme Court judges.
Oh, really?
Oh. I
am friend in Uncle Sir John on in Indian.
Inside one.
Have you seen your real size?
Inside one.
You see your real size?
Supreme Court judges. Ekufado the ne nyanum na na nkufo go na otuja hwara hwa gasa mo in some
sure.
I Kokrokoo. Enyinda benyem tra ya che. Be 2011 na me watra me kwame dan kan tam moniti manka da mante mu huda. Mo fo da mo.
Please.
Abey uncle.
Now, you say why?
Why you say Kokrokoo Central Region? Central Kokrokoo.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Uncle is John.
You see, Kwame na me da say, yo, Kwaku me da say Kabila so di kan ba one no call me down so I say, but teacher wa utie me. When I say ne your dia.
Peace FM.